What is happening, everybody? It's CJ here from Dream Diecast Cars, and I am finally back with another model car review. And today I'm going to be reviewing this 118 Ferrari FF made by Hot Wheels SuperElite. Now let's begin by taking a look at the front of this model car, where one of the first things I noticed was the paint on this model. I think that Hot Wheels did a really nice job in painting this. The paint is a really deep red color, which is something that I don't notice on a lot of their models, but this is a special edition version, and I think they did a beautiful job in painting it this fantastic red color. The lights are replicated nicely. You can see they have this nice clear plastic right here. The LEDs go down the side, which looks fantastic, and you've got this bulb right there in the center, which also looks spot on. Another thing Hot Wheels does a really nice job of on this model is the badging, and you notice it right here on the front. This Ferrari badge looks unbelievable. It's done in real metal. You can see all the wording on it perfectly, and it pops out from the model car just like it would on the actual Ferrari FF. This front grille is replicated very nicely. You can see that it is also made out of a real metal material, which is great. And you've got the Ferrari prancing horse in front, of course, which they did a bang-on job of replicating. It looks just like the one on the real car. They also have other real metal accents on the front, and that just makes the car look super realistic. So now let's move right along onto the side of this model car, where things just keep getting better for this model. I love how Hot Wheels replicated the striking curves of a real Ferrari FF, and I think they did an unbelievable job. Now, as great as the curves are on this model car, my favorite thing about the side are definitely the wheels. Hot Wheels really seem to do everything right here. Let's start off with their choice of rims. Being a Ferrari, there are a lot of different rims you can choose, and Hot Wheels definitely chose the best ones to replicate on their model car. I think that these look unbelievable. Then when you look in the center, you can see the Ferrari badge. Looks great. It's also made out of real metal, replicated perfectly. You have the 5 bolts around it, which look great. The calipers say Ferrari on them, which is super realistic, and the discs move through the calipers as they should. And I know I talked about it on the front, but this badge here is done very well for the same exact reasons. It too is made out of a real metal material, and it also pops out from the car like it should. And of course you have the famous Pininfarina badge on the back, which is also replicated to perfection. So now let's move right along onto the back of this model car, where I'm going to point out to you guys the first and really one of the only flaws with this great model car. You see right here, when you're looking at the rear window defroster, they just did it too much. When you're looking at an actual Ferrari FF, you hardly notice here, but on the model car, they're like really distinct orange lines, and they stick out a lot. So I wish that they'd toned it down a little bit with that. Otherwise though, the back does look really good. You have these vents right here. These are made out of plastic, but they still look extremely realistic. The exhausts down low look absolutely menacing. You see the diffuser down there, which is quite realistic. And the Ferrari prancing horse is once again done in real metal, sticks out, and it just looks perfect to how it would look on the actual car. So now let's move back to the front of this model car so we can pop the hood and take a look at the engine. There is a problem with that though, and it's another flaw with this model car. The hood on this model is obscenely hard to open up. I've never seen a model car with such a difficult hood to open. There's some cars where it's a little bit tricky, but you flip them upside down, you can usually get them to, fall open just with gravity. This model car, that's not so. You can turn it upside down, you can try tapping the bottom, it will not open. So as I'm sure you noticed, I have this SLS sitting out right next to the Ferrari, and the reason for that is because Minichamps does on this model car what Hot Wheels should have done on this one. You look under the car, there's a little button down here. It raises the hood so you can slip your finger under there and open it up easily. This model car, as I said, is so difficult to open up. I do have a method. I've got this little tiny screwdriver. You can kind of slide it in. Now the problem with this is that you almost feel like you're damaging the car. You pry it open a little bit. You can usually slip your fingernail in there. But as you can see, I'm still having difficulty. Definitely is not good for the car what I'm doing. Open this up. And I'll tell you what the biggest problem is. It's this little hook right there, if you can see it. It snaps into place and it just makes it impossible to open up the hood. Once the hood is open though, you can see the Hot Wheels did do a really great job in replicating the engine. The big V12 looks fantastic right there. It says Ferrari in real metal, which looks great. You've got the prancing horse on the front. It's a really good job, but it certainly is dampened by this stupid hood. So let's once again move to the rear of this car, where we will take a look inside the trunk, which is luckily a lot easier to open up than the hood. Just pop it open. Inside, you'll notice, it's just a trunk. There isn't really too much detail. We got this little metal part right there, which is nice. Although it would have been nice on a model car so expensive if they had included some felt. I think that would have been a very nice touch. So now we can finally move along onto the interior of this model car, where I think Hot Wheels really outdid themselves. Everything on the interior of this model car really seems to be done perfectly. One of my favorite things about it is all the carbon fiber accents that Hot Wheels includes all over different locations of the interior. They also did the wheel extremely well, which is really a huge compliment with these very complicated and difficult to replicate Ferrari wheels. The navigation system looks really nice, and I love how they replicated that it says Ferrari right over it. Just really everything on this interior is done perfectly, and I love how all the buttons pop out. So many small details on the inside of this model are just done really well. So in the end, there's no doubt in my mind that this is a great model car. It has unbelievable detail and really not too many flaws. But here's the one thing I haven't talked to you guys about yet. Price. These things are pretty hard to find right now. You can't find too many of them on eBay. I did find one on Amazon. The price I saw on Amazon is about $200, so it is quite expensive. Even though they're getting a lot rarer, the price hasn't really gone up. That's about what I bought it for a while back. But yeah, it is quite expensive, and the biggest problem is that you can buy the regular Hot Wheels Elite version of this model car, which is quite good, for $70. If you're really interested in buying this model car, I definitely suggest checking out this video right here, because it's my direct comparison between this Hot Wheels Elite, Hot Wheels SuperElite, and the regular Hot Wheels Elite. And if you're going to buy one, that video could potentially save you about $130. So now on to the ratings. And if you guys don't remember, I always do two separate ratings. The first rating is the rating without the price, just rating this model car for what it is. And the second rating factors in price. So let's start off with without the price. I would give this model car an A- because it is a really nice model car. The details on the outside look spectacular. As I said, I love the way the rims look. That was a great choice of rims. And the interior really is spot on. By far the best part of the car. The hood really should be fixed, so that's why it gets an A-, but pretty darn good car overall. However, when you factor in that hefty $200 price tag, the rating does get lowered to a B. So that'll wrap up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.